This is 5 on your side at 6. Focused on you.
Right now, we're nearing the end of our weather impact alert. Some areas already seeing relief from the heat. Thank you for joining us. I'm Ann Allred.
And I'm Mike Bush. Thunderstorms are helping cool off some St. Louisans across the region. Well, let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Scott Cano with what's moving in. Scott?
You know, during the overnight hours, we're going to settle down some. This afternoon, we had some isolated showers and thunderstorms, but they developed right in the heart of the metro area and to the north. That put down some gusty winds for some of us. It also brought about a nice cool down in spots, at least temporarily. Now, what's left of those showers and thunderstorms, all lifting to the north of St. Louis. So not much else around the metro area. You can see the outflow from that sliding back from the thunderstorms as it drifts back into the metro area. At this point, unlikely it's going to flare up additional thunderstorms, but what it did do was cool us back into the 80s from Edwardsville to Alton, northern St. Charles County, and even some spots in the 70s for a time up towards Jerseyville and to the north. Now, still low 90s elsewhere. It still feels like it's around 100. That heat advisory coming to an end here at 7 o'clock this evening. And tomorrow, while it's not a breath of fresh air, it won't be as bad and more clouds will be rolling in. So the worst of the heat is now past. Thunderstorms are expected later Friday into Friday evening, and a few of those, an isolated one or two of them, might be strong. More on that in just a few minutes, Mike.
Now to a developing story out of North St. Louis. Right now, a manufacturing plant is closed down after several explosions in a sewer line this afternoon. Our Megan Kernan is live at the scene on East Grand tonight. Megan.
Mike, we recently got an update from St. Louis Fire Chief Dennis Jenkerson. He says 5 or 6 explosions happened in the span of 1 hour earlier this afternoon in a construction area behind the Procter & Gamble plant on East Grand. Now, he says thankfully there were no injuries as everyone was able to evacuate safely before P&G officially closed the plant down for the day. Now, right around 12:45 this afternoon, fire crews got a report of a small explosion in the area of East Grand and Ferry. The first emergency crews on scene saw multiple manhole covers blown off. Chief Jenkerson says it turns out this was related to the MSD treatment plant. We talked to one employee who says there was an odor in the building and then all of a sudden they heard an explosion. The employees said they were all told to get their stuff out of the building and evacuate. Now, Chief Jenkerson says crews are working on flushing out some type of flammable material out of the sewer line that has not been identified yet.
We're flushing about a 4 square block area, but we have to be concerned with how we flush it because some of the sewer systems run directly into the treatment plant. And if some of these products get into there, it messes up how they treat the raw sewage. So it's been a dry couple weeks. All the sewers are dry. So whatever was dumped into the sewers collected and causes explosions.
Now, it's been about 4 hours since the last explosion. Crews are going to continue carefully flushing those sewers out. As Chief Jenkerson said, it's going to take some time to eliminate this problem. Live in North St. Louis, Megan Kernan, 5 on your side.
Tonight, federal agencies are tracking down thieves that are targeting small pharmacies. Just a few hours ago, 2 men were sentenced to federal prison for burglarizing pharmacies in Missouri and Illinois. Our Justina Cornell has learned more about this national and local problem. She's live in the newsroom. Justina.
And the Drug Enforcement Administration believes these acts are out of greed. Today in the Metro East, 2 men were sentenced to more than 8 years in prison, targeting 8 small pharmacies, including Ladue Pharmacy in St. Louis County.
So this has been an independent family business since the mid-50s.
Ladue Pharmacy means family for Rick Williams. His dad is the founder, and Williams keeps it alive.
Most of the community pharmacies are independently owned, family-owned businesses.
That's why it cuts deeper when thieves target the family business.
Fortunately, we haven't suffered in terms of great losses, other than a really large break-in back in 2001. Where they cleaned us out.
Williams admits it's had its fair share of hits.
The last one was in 2022 at our other location, where they literally backed into the window with a van and fortunately didn't really get away with anything, so it was really just damage.
Damage that is detrimental.
These organized groups going into these smaller chain or smaller non-chain pharmacies and really creating havoc.
DEA St. Louis Division Assistant Special Agent in Charge Joseph Dixon explains burglars are grabbing onto greed, snatching whatever substance in sight.
The hydrocodone, the morphine, and other, scheduled drugs are what they're seeking. Every criminal leaves a trail. And in today's society, everyone has a Ring doorbell or some form of, surveillance.
That's why Williams stepped up security.
We've completely revamped our security systems, and so it's much more challenging for somebody to get away with anything.
He knows it's not just his store. As a business co-owner, Williams is proud. That's why he aims to protect.
Stay away from my store.
Now, in a separate case, just a few hours ago in Arkansas, a news conference disclosed the largest case involving pharmacy burglaries in DEA history. It involves 42 defendants, 200 pharmacies across 31 states, including Missouri and Illinois.
St. Louis County Councilwoman Shalonda Webb is calling for an investigation into the county executive, Sam Page, and his outside employment. Voters in St. Louis County approved a measure 2 years ago saying the county executive cannot have a second job. Dr. Page is an anesthesiologist, and Webb says he's been working at SSM Health St. Louis University Hospital. A spokesperson for Dr. Page says he is not working at the hospital, he's volunteering. He also says Dr. Page can't comment right now because he has COVID. Webb says she is reestablishing the ethics committee to look into the matter. Let's take a live look over Busch Stadium, where the Cardinals got a big win today, but unfortunately the team set another record low for attendance.
Yeah, our Holden Kowicki joins us live outside of Busch Stadium, and Holden, the announced attendance was over 26,000, but what did you find out about the actual attendance at the ballpark today?
Well, Mike, and according to my sources with the team, an hour after first pitch today, only 11,000 fans had made their way through the turnstiles. While fans have been vocal for quite some time that the product on the field isn't acceptable, the vendors outside the stadium say the current business model is unsustainable.
On opening day, Cardinal Nation was full of excitement. However, the attitude has changed at the intersection of 8th and Clark.
It's turned the last couple of months. They're tired. The fans are showing the Cardinals that they're done. They want change.
Karen Boschert has sold concessions outside the stadium for 26 years, and she says she's never seen things suffer around the ballpark like they have this season.
But all of us businesses down here are feeling the effect of what's happening with this team and with the crime in St. Louis.
She lost thousands last season as the team finished in last place, and says things haven't improved in 2024.
Are you breaking even most days, or?
Losing, but we're trying to do it because we have faith that the Cardinals will come back, and I love being the hot dog lady, but it gets harder and harder to set up, and I've cut my staff down, and I mean, my prices are reasonable. You can take everything into the stadium.
For radio host Tim McKernan and Bernie Miklas, that speaks to bigger issues for Cardinal ownership.
I think that they have to be cognizant of how severe this situation is, because it's a domino effect. No people in the stands means no revenue from concessions, and that means no revenue from Ballpark Village.
Every aspect of this team has gone sour.
The most common complaint amongst fans?
Product on the field, and if you ask me what my fans say, the Mozeliak needs to go. That's what my fans all have said. That's the top one.
You got to start over with your front office. You just have to. Your business will continue to go down, down, down.
As the team continues to struggle through the dog days of summer, Boschert says she and other small business owners are mulling over their future at the ballpark.
Like, when do I call it? Do I say I'm done? Because if I stop, they're not going to let anybody else vend over here.
The Cardinals spend the next week on the road and return home next Friday. I actually just looked, and you can find tickets to that game on the lower level, just a few rows from the field, for as low as $7. Reporting live outside of Busch Stadium, Holden Kowicki, 5 on your side.
Coming up, a car burst into flames in Spanish Lake, the crash that caused the whole thing.
Plus, a lot of cheering today at SLU, the professor making history at the Paralympics.